Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Back again with another one.
Back again, brother. And before we jump in, as always, like, share, comment. All comments. Good, bad, ugly, it don't matter. Let's interact. Let's talk about how y'all feel about these NFL previews. We're going to continue to drop and continue to flood y'all with content. So make sure y'all ring that bell, subscribe, and stay in touch with all of the videos that me and Peach and episodes me and Peach are going to keep dropping for y'all. So do y'all thing, and we're going to continue to do ours.
We need all the love, man.
Watch the handle, it takes skill. We got to run it back. We in the field, and you said it's exact. You in your field, we looking for the facts. Let's keep it real, yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats.
Hold on, let me fix my AT&T caller badge real quick.
You're a customer service rep for T-Mobile.
Keep that on the shh.
Sticking with the AFC West, bro. Just wrapped up with the Broncos. If y'all didn't see that, go check that one out. But we got the Raiders today, bro. We in Vegas. We in Sin City. We talking about the Raiders, right? Lost Derek Carr, Josh McDaniels, Devante Adams, Max Crosby, all those top players that they got. So let's see what they losses, their additions were. See how we feeling about their season, bro. Because I think this is a tough division. Of course, with the Chiefs, Super Bowl champions, but the Chargers, the Broncos got some new looks, right? They got a new coach with Sean Payton. They're looking to turn things around. So let's jump in. Let's not waste no time.
And I think on paper, too, you're about to pull it up. I think on paper, the Raiders have somewhat of some weapons. I think this wide receiver core goes a little deep. They have Max Crosby, but they also added Chandler Jones. He came from Kansas City, right?
Nah, Chandler Jones was in Arizona.
And I think that helps out the edge. I know Jimmy G health is a concern, but if this team could kind of put it together a little bit, but it's gonna be tough, man. But I think they could put some points up on the board.
My biggest concern, bro, is Josh McDaniels, bro. I just feel like it's a big question mark. I feel like these coaches that come under that Bill Belichick tree, right? I don't know if they don't normally succeed outside. I feel like Josh McDaniels is trying to flush out all of the talent that wasn't picked by him, right? I.e., Derek Carr, Darren Waller, some of their top guys. And I don't know, man. Last year, that small sample size really didn't show me enough to be like, all right, the Raiders can turn this thing around. And if you look at their win projections on the sports books or even mock drafts for next year, NFL mock drafts for next year, they have them picking in that top 5. They have to be in a bottom tier team, what they like to call the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. So I don't know, bro. It's gonna be tough. But jumping in, missed the playoffs last year, of course. Lost Derek Carr, the quarterback, for a couple years. I don't know how long he was there. But Derek Carr had some good years. There was years where the Raiders seemed like they was kind of outside of that Super Bowl bubble, but was really good teams that could make a deep run. Darren Waller, who's been top 5, definitely top 10 tight end, super talented. They lost some other guys. Mac Hollins, who I thought had a good year last year. They lost Rocky Sin, quarterback, I believe, out of Temple. Hit or miss, right? But he provided some depth in that secondary. Foster Moreau, who was also a good tight end. So they lost some pieces, and I think they just tried to fill. And that's what I mean by Josh McDaniels just trying to bring in his own crop of talent and his own guys. Bring in Jimmy G, who's familiar with that Patriot system.
He didn't do bad either. As far as the picks,
as far as the names.
I think the Mac Hollins and Jacoby Myers, I think that kind of balances out. I think Jacoby Myers was all right in New England. I think he's an all right number 2 guy. They bring in DeAndre Carter, too, from the Chargers, who I think if it wasn't for Josh Palmer, I think he would have seen more reps in that slot spot. And then I know that Darren Waller is a freak athlete, top 5 tight end in the league, but I'm a little bit of a Browns guy, so I've been an Austin Hooper fan even before the Tennessee Titans days.
I like Austin Hooper.
He still has some juice left in the tank, and we all know OJ Howard. Every once in a while, this man he'll give you something out of nowhere. So I don't think Josh McDaniels did too bad this season filling out the gaps.
My thing is though, bro. All right, you lose Foster Monroe and Darren Waller, right? But you get Michael Mayer in the first round, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been second. I'm forgetting when Michael Mayer got drafted. But a top tight end in this past draft, out of Notre Dame. Michael Mayer is expected to come in and, he could be a starting tight end from day one. But you also go get O.J. Howard. You also go get Austin Hooper. That's a deep tight end room. I don't know I'm guessing Austin Hooper will get the nod to start. But maybe they'll be playing a lot of two tight end sets. But definitely deep in that room. And then they bring in Marcus Epps. They bring in two cornerbacks and Brandon Faceyson. I'm saying that right? Right? Faceyson and Devin Long. So they tried to bring in some pieces. Right. They draft Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. Who I think he's going to be a nice piece to bring in.
I want to ask, where do you put him at on this defensive line? I mean, you got Max Crosby, you got Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones is getting up there.
Defensive tackle.
Chandler Jones is getting up there, bro. So I think you're gonna try to save Chandler Jones as much as possible, right? Get them rotations, right? That's why I said that roster depth is important. So bringing a young guy like Tyree Wilson in to get some exposure. I mean, he's gonna play a lot. His snap count is gonna be high, but eventually Chandler Jones is gonna leave this Raiders team. And that's what these teams do. They bring a guy that can fill that role. Learn from Chandler Jones. We got Max Crosby on the other side. Learn from Chandler Jones. Come in, get some reps. And then eventually I think that'll be Tyree Wilson's spot. Like I said. But you want to save Chandler Jones' legs as much as possible for the I'm saying for the playoffs, like they're going to make the playoffs. But
save it for week 16.
Yeah, exactly. To try to spoil someone else's season. Maybe. But this is a team, bro, that, like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's not a lot of information on. I feel like there's not a lot of hope. Like I said, a lot of experts have this team finishing below and below par. And I think with the fact that they're in the AFC and the fact that they're in the AFC West just doesn't help them.
At all. And I think it's a lot of pressure on Jimmy G. He's had foot injuries in the past, from what I was looking at. For him to be dealing with this again, his first go-around, I think he's expected back after training camp, maybe during. But that's not a sign that you want for your starting quarterback. And I think their backups is Brian Hoyer and
they grabbed Brian Hoyer.
Aiden, I forgot his last name, but it's like, and then I feel for Devante Adams because I'm like,
that's
you're getting up there in age, and I'm like,
but I think Devante gonna get his, bro. I think Devante, when you look at it from like a skill position standpoint, I just named all the tight ends that they have. They have Devante Adams. They still have Hunter Renfrow, who's really good out of the slot. If Jacoby Myers can fill in for that number 2 role,
2 spot.
You also get Philip Dorsett. We haven't mentioned him. DeAndre Carter. So they have a nice little group of wide receivers. You got Josh Jacobs, who's coming off an amazing year last year. If Jimmy G is healthy. So for the Raiders fans, talent-wise, you got Max Crosby. You have Chandler Jones. The defense is kind of suspect. But it's about putting everything together. Right? It's not about how it looks on paper. And they really didn't put too much together last year with, I think, a better quarterback. And a lot of people would think that in Derek Carr, although be it Josh McDaniels first year.
I also didn't think that the Raiders, the years that they had Derek Carr, I don't think they ever lived up to the expectations that was, put on them. I think they always underachieved. Last year was a big underachievement. I'm thinking with the signing of Devante Adams, you get Derek Carr a weappon, and I know stops. But you get Derek Carr this high power weapon.
His college teammate.
Yeah, and you don't do really shit with it. So I'm like, now I know Devante's gonna get his, but shit, get your ass in the playoffs. You got the resume. You got all the accolades and shit as far as like one of these top 5 wide receivers. But it comes to a point where, you know, that winning. Like I'm keep your eyes on the Raiders and the New York Jets. As far as like how Aaron Rodgers and Devante Adams balance out as they're in new passes. They're not with each other no more. So
true. But that's what makes it tough, bro, because the wide receiver position is such a dependent position, right? Like you need somebody to throw you the ball no matter how open you are. You need them to put in the right spot. The chemistry is important. Timing. With Aaron Rodgers, he can kind of, I mean, it's still those things, right? But he's more of the driver in that situation. He's steering that boat, steering that ship. But I think Devante Adams will still get his. I think he's too good of a talent to not get his. But I just don't know how it's all going to mesh from a team standpoint, bro. I don't know.
All on Jimmy G, man. I think this is the year you don't got Brock Purdy or Trey Lance breathing down your neck. If he can get healthy, I think this Raiders team goes as far as he goes. Like, they're invested in him as their post-Derek Carr era quarterback. And he got to show up, man. If not, they're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
I was about to say, I'm going to keep it a buck. Raiders fans are going to hate me for this, but you drafting a quarterback next season. You drafting a quarterback in the draft.
You know, when Seth says that means that schedule does not look good.
Yeah, bro. And it's okay. Like, listen, like, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay.
It's cool, right? You got some talent. You got some talented pieces. You got Max Crosby, like I said, Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer. You got some guys that you can build around, right? Find out if this is your coach. If Josh McDaniels is your coach, go draft a quarterback. It's all steps. It's all steps. And if you take the correct steps, and 2-3 years from now, you can be a Super Bowl team. I seen it. I'm a Bengals fan.
Ooh, you was in the trenches for a couple years, man.
Hell yeah. With Andy Dalton. But no, let's jump into the schedule. 6-11 last year. Tough schedule, bro. Bro, tough conference, tough schedule. The NFL do you no favors. You gotta go to Denver and deal with that altitude. Then you gotta go to Buffalo and deal with that atmosphere. That's just
early too.
That's tough. It's tough. And I think that's 2 L's. You come home, and out of the kindness of our hearts, we giving you the home opener win against the Steelers. I think the Steelers are a better team. I really do. And me and Peach kind of penciled this one in as like a home opener win for the Raiders. Maybe that crowd will be electric. Devante Adams won't be able to be stopped. Josh Jacobs won't be able to be stopped. And you'll just outscore the Steelers. Right? It could be one of those games. So we get you the win there. But then you got a division game in L.A. against the Chargers. You played the Chargers pretty well, but with this one being on the road, I think that's a loss. So 1-3 through the first 4 weeks. How we feeling about that, bro? I mean, it's hard. You could be on 4.
It's hard. I'm not even trying to look ahead, and I'm deeply sorry, Raiders fans, but y'all really have a chance to really start out in a super hole right now,
bro.
Because you're really being generous, giving them the Steelers win with that stingy ass Pittsburgh defense. But just Denver, Buffalo, LA. The first 4 weeks and on the road.
Brutal, bro. They did them no favors, bro. They did them no favors, bro. And then I'm going to continue to week 10. I'm going to run through these next 6 games. They're home against the Packers. Gave them the win, right? Because it's a big question mark in Green Bay. We haven't got to Green Bay yet, but Jordan Love's taking over. So let's see how that dynamic works out and how long it take him to get in his bag, per se. Then you're home again against the Patriots. I don't see you beating the Patriots for the simple fact that Josh McDaniels was Bill Belichick's understudy. And I think Bill Belichick going to know what Josh McDaniels' tendencies are, what he likes, what he doesn't like. And that's going to be tough to beat. That's the master versus the teacher versus the pupil kind of in a way. So I think that's a loss. You go on the road to Chicago. Another tough game. The Raiders don't have a defense that can really stop you. But I'm giving y'all the win here on the road for the simple fact that y'all got to win one game on the road. And if I don't give y'all that, y'all going to go winless on the road. So I give you that Chicago game on the road. But again, then you got to go from Chicago to Detroit, a young Lions team who has a lot of expectation and hype around them. I think that's a loss. Come back home against the Giants. I think the Giants take a step back this season. A little sneak peek into when we do discuss the Giants, but I think you can get that win. I really do. And then you have to play the Jets at home, which we were just talking about Aaron Rodgers and Devante Adams, so we'll get a picture after that game after Aaron Rodgers get the dub. They'll exchange jerseys. But you got 4 wins through the first. I mean, that's a tough first 10 games. But you got 4 wins out of it. Somehow.
And I keep looking at the Bears in week 7, and I'm like,
bro,
oh man, I can see Justin Fields running for $1, throwing for 2.
Bro,
DJ
question.
Moore.
Question, bro. Is it possible that they go winless in those first 10 games? Am I wrong?
Bro, I think it's very
Bro, the Steelers is a tough game. Let's say Jordan Love steps right in. And he's feeling himself.
Between me, I don't want to look ahead, but I think he's going to have a transition sort of the Dak Prescott's transition.
Okay,
remember that first year that Dak got the keys when Romo left? And we're like, damn, who the fuck?
Yeah.
Out there looking all right. I think Jordan Love is going to have that type of impact on this Packers team, but we'll see
if he does, bro, they can beat the Raiders. They still have Jair Alexander. They still have a lot of those pieces. Aaron Jones, Christian Watson. They still have that offensive line, that defensive line with Frank Clark and them boys. I don't know, bro. And then the Bears, like you just said. And then the Giants, they were a playoff team last year. Darren Waller going to want some revenge. Brian Dable is a hell of a coach. I like Brian Dable more than I like Josh McDaniels.
Take 2 of the wins away.
Bro, it's crazy, bro. I think the more I'm looking at this schedule, bro, I think we kind of did them a favor here, to be honest. But the more I look at this schedule, I just see, in big red letters, I see Caleb Williams.
Raider fans, make sure you subscribe. We love you.
Yeah, we do, man. But it's tough. It's tough, man. And then let's go through the rest, bro.
Week 11.
Look at week 11 and week 12. Week 11, you got to go to Miami. I think that's a loss. I think everyone is going to kind of side with me there. And then you got to play the Chiefs.
Fucking brutal, bro. God
bro.
Damn.
Then you got to play the Chiefs. They're, I don't need to go there, Super Bowl champs. Then you got a bye week. You can breathe a little bit. But then you got to come out and you got to play the Vikings, who, with everything settled last year, they win 13, 12
13 games, yeah.
Bro, that's not easy. You got to deal with Justin Jefferson. You got to deal with Kirk Cousins. Albeit if that's a 1:00 game, Kirk Cousins is going to be fired. So I think that's a loss, right? And then, like I said, you play the Chargers well. I think you can get that win. But then you add the Chiefs. I think you're gonna. That's tough coming off of 2 division games against the top 2 teams in your division, right? You getting 1. Then you going to the Colts. I have that being a loss. I gave y'all so many wins in the beginning. That's a loss. And then you got to finish the season out against the Broncos, and I think the Broncos will be playing for more at this point. I think that's a loss, man. 5-12, and the crazy thing is that seems so generous, bro. This could very well be a 2-14 team, bro.
Easy, maybe even 1-15. Like right now. Right now, I absolutely think they beat the Chargers.
Bet the winless season.
Oh my God! Fuck around, be sweating in week 18. They're beating the fucking Broncos.
Bro, there's no lock wins where you feel really good about. There's no Texans at home to start early in the season, right? There's no I'm trying to think of other bad teams around the league. There's no Buccaneers on the schedule.
Don't even fucking do that, man.
There's no Buccaneers on the schedule.
The Bucs will ball them up.
Bro, it's a tough schedule, man. Honestly, I want to change this, and I want to say 3-14 for the Raiders. We're gonna take
that Chargers win away. Sorry, Raiders fan. They're not beating the Chargers. Home, away, I don't give a damn. And then I guess like you
Bro,
said,
this is
Giants
dope.
were the playoff team last year too.
And I like Brian
Like,
Dable.
I'm not even gonna lie. Week 17 at the Colts, I'm not sold on the Colts too much this year.
No, me neither.
And I don't know where they'll be at around this time. I could be wrong. This is a team that's finally gonna be healthy. But I don't know though. I don't know.
Yeah. Raiders, this is tough. Raiders fans, I know we had a few Raiders fans in the comments, right? So come on, let us know. Let us know if we tripping. Let us know what we don't know, right? Because that's your squad. Or be honest, if you feel like this is a fair comparison, and like I said, or fair evaluation, and like I said, you in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, just be honest, because next year could look totally different if you get Caleb Williams.
Absolutely.